All right, it's a rainy old Monday night here, so I thought I'd sit down and make these videos for you for our next lesson on how to put your holes into your part. And I've got a couple objects here that I pulled out of the drawer. I've got a dime that I'm going to try to use. There's also a button like that, and then I just found this random piece of round stock that I could use also. I think I'm going to go with the dime because it's going to be the most common item that you'll probably have in your house. And I'm going to sharpen my pencil up a little bit so I can get a good point. Pretty important on this one because the dime's a little bit bigger than the hole that we needed. Okay, so we were going to use a 1/2 inch diameter, but the dime's just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to try to trace around this. So I've got it in the center of my square, right? I'm going to try to trace around it like that. Take your time on this because one little boo-boo, you got a mess. Okay. You can always put it in lightly, go back again and color it in, okay? So we're going to try to come up here. Like I say, mechanical pencils are good if you got one. I just don't do real well with a mechanical pencil, but feel free to use one. You notice I'm just kind of eyeballing this in, right? I'm going to try to come back here and keep them as straight as I can. I could measure these to the center, but I wouldn't be able to see the center because the dime doesn't have a hole in it, of course. So I'm just going to make the best of it. We've been talking to some companies, trying to get some kits out to you guys, and maybe we can get a kit together and have a drawing tool with holes, circles built in it. Okay, I'm just going to try to wrap this up real quick. Now you get the double dip on this project because you don't have to draw the actual squares and rectangles again. All you have to do is add these holes on the front view and the top and the right side view. Alright. See if I can finish these guys up real quick. Okay, so that's a pretty good roughing in of the holes, I guess, if you'd like to call it that. I got it a little bit dirty because of my lead on the pencil, but it's not going to be that bad. Now, here comes the next trick, okay? How do I demonstrate the radius of that hole? Now, I'm not going to see it. Remember, it's going to be a hidden line, right? So I got to do my little hidden line marks. There's one. There's two. And there's three. Now I told you make sure to use the ruler to line them up with, so, you know, I'm pretty close, right? Pretty close with that one. So, okay, this one now is accurate. And then I need to do the same thing. Slide it over here on this guy. And if you want to keep the depth the same, maybe, you can do something like that. Line it up in the center. Hidden line, hidden line, hidden line, hidden line, hidden line. Same thing again. Yeah. Hidden line, hidden line, hidden line. around the radius of the dime. Okay, and then one more time on this one. Hidden lines around there. Now, we got the hard part done, I call it. And now we have to kind of go back in here and label X and Y. You remember when you all did your measurement assignment? So I'm going to have to erase this guy right here for a minute, just so I can kind of show you what I'm after. So we always call this lower left-hand corner the datum, or the date line, or the 0 point. Okay, that's called a 0 point. So now you can do this with your ruler if you got things pretty much to scale. And if I pull the rule on that one, my first line, I'm gonna do it like this. My first line over here. Okay, let's do it on the second one. The reason I'm only doing it on one is because they're all the same. Across there on X and Y. Okay, go like that. All right, stay with me. I'm gonna try not to lose you too bad. Okay, come down like this, and down like that, and down like that. Now we have to put a measurement on those spots, right? Okay, so to make things simple, I'm going to do them in fractions. So that first one is 1/2 inch, and this way is the Y direction, and then this way is the X direction, right? We're going that way in X and that way in Y. So we are at 1/2 inch X and 1/2 inch Y. Okay, so most of these are kind of close to being the same. So I'm going to come over here and grab my ruler, and then I'm going to look and see that my next measurement should have been real close to 1 3/4, okay? And then you would write that as 1 3/4. And that would be the same on this one. 1 3/4. And it's the same because it's a square, right? Everything's the same. Let's double check it, make sure. So come over here. That's my 3/4 mark right there. So everything cool on that one. All right, so let's go back here and catch the next one. Notice I put the edge of the ruler down here on 0, right? Okay, so that's 1/2 inch, 1 3/4. And then this one should have been 3 inches. Okay, so this should be, is that right? Yeah, 3 inches. Hold, please. Yes, 3 inches. 3 inches. Okay, same thing down here, 3 inches and Y. Okay, now we've got X is that, and Y is that. So how can we label these holes? Okay, so if we were going to drill this, we'd have to know where all of them were, right? So let me do this. Let me number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so now on this empty spot over here, I'm going to come over here and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I'm going to put X, and I'm going to put Y. So let's see how this is going to work out for us. Okay, put this little chart here. So hole number 1 is 1/2 inch X, 1/2 inch Y. Hole number 2, make sure you put it in the right spot. 1 3/4 X and 1/2 inch Y. 3 is going to be 3 inches X, 1/2 inch Y. Okay, let's do it like this. Let's take these back off. And then let's make another chart, and we'll do 4, 5 and 6. X and Y, like that. So 4 is going to be 1/2 inch, X, and 1 3/4, Y. I don't know why this number's on here. Let me get that out of our way. Okay, so 5 is going to be, what do you think? Yeah, 1 3/4 X, 1 3/4 Y. Cool. All right, so we've got, if you go over here, that's the X. So X would be 3, okay, and then Y is going to be what? Look over here, here's a pattern. 1 3/4. Cool. All right, so let's do 7, 8, and 9. X and Y. All right, we're going to get it now. Pretty simple. So we're going to be X. You see me? I'm sorry, I'm a little bit off camera. X here. So up here is over 1/2 inch, right? And then up 3 inches. Okay. 8 is over 1 3/4 and up 1 3/4. Cool. Okay. And then 9 is that one and that one. Now that was kind of strange, wasn't it? Let me go back and double check. So we got, I might have done something wrong. No, that's right. X and Y, so we're 1/2 inch over on X, 3 inches up on Y, and that's how you would label your holes. So if you went to drill that now, you would know to go to this dimension on 1, and this one on 2, and this one on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's pretty neat. There's one more thing that we need to label when we go to make this, and that's going to be these centers or these edges. Let's do the edges. We need to know the edges of these lines. I don't know if we talked about that or not. I can't remember. So this is going to be 1 inch here, okay, and this is going to be 1 1/4 that way. And right now we're climbing up the Y, okay, so we got this one, and that's it. So we're just going to mark those two. So if we added an inch to 1 1/4, we should get this 2 1/4, right? And if we add another quarter to this one, we should get 2 1/2. A big fancy math for you, right? Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. So that was Y going up. That was Y, right? And then we got to come over. So we're going to put X up here. Guess what the numbers are going to be? X is going to be what? Yeah, and then this one. So 1 inch and 1 1/4. Add the inch to that, and you've got 2 1/4. All right, add another quarter to that, and you've got 2 1/2. Cool, right? And then this is, of course, 0, and this is 3. Now that was relatively fast. I know, kind of a lot to take in, but if you watch this video a couple times, you'll go, oh, well, that's pretty simple. I like that. It's cool. So I want you to take your time. I want you to get those circles in there where they belong. Make sure they're in the middle of your squares, and hopefully your squares are in the right spot. A couple of you didn't have them exactly perfect, but that's okay. And of course, remember, this is what we're trying to get, okay? So, you know, you see it, you visualize it, you lay it out with measurement, you use your ruler when you have one, and hopefully you get something that's to scale. That means 1 to 1. And if you can tell, this is relatively close to that size, right? 1 to 1 scale, okay? And then that's pretty much it. So if you can accomplish that in 4 or 5 days, you win a prize of a grade. All right, cool. So I know there's going to be a couple of you need some help, and that's okay. We'll work on it during the week. And that's it for this. That's it for this show. And we'll see you later.